First off, assalamu alaikum to everyone. Greetings to everyone else. Hi, my name is Afiq. I have been in finance for almost 10 years now. I started off as a banker, I'm a chartered financial consultant, and I honestly have helped almost 200 over families achieve their financial security. And so for today, it's going to be a very interesting session. I'm not going to be talking about finance. We're not going to be covering anything about finance, but really, we're going to be sharing with you the three things that you can do to prosper in the new norm. We know that COVID-19 has made a massive impact, massive impact. Things like working from home, things like social distancing, home-based learning, businesses are closed, and it also has pretty much triggered a recession. If you look at how the markets are reacting, it is not good. It's not fun. We won't go into that for today, beyond the scope of today. But for, like I mentioned today, here are the three things you must do to prosper in the new norm. Thing number one, simplest thing, keep your good habits. In some of our earlier sessions, we were talking about habits and how good habits are really hard to acquire and yet really easy to lose. On the flip side, bad habits are very easy to acquire and very hard to lose. And so for one of the habits that I love so far in the past 6 weeks to 8 weeks of being under lockdown is something we call money mindfulness. And what that means is, exactly as the name implies, we are being more mindful with our money. And I don't mean just counting every single cent. I'm more aware of where my money goes. I'm more aware of the necessities that I'm spending on because, you know, it's a lockdown. I don't have a chance to go out. I spend a lot less on transport. I know for a fact I spend a lot on Grab. I spend a lot less on eating out. I spend a lot less on impulse purchases. But I also have to be very mindful of the little phone that I have that lets me access all kinds of buying platforms, you know, from Qoo10 to Lazada to AliExpress, Alibaba. And so I would urge us to keep our good habits, namely being mindful with our money, money mindfulness. The second thing that I want to keep in my good habits is family time. With my children being home, with my wife being home, we actually have had the opportunity to have a lot of family time, you know, and family time is so very important. The vast majority of people out there who I've spoken to, all the families I work with, the main thing that comes up a lot of the time is, I wish I had more time with the family. And now that we actually do have more time in the family, when lockdown finally lifts and we may have to go back to work, can we prioritize our family time? Can we be a bit more mindful about our time and how we slice it up? Like right now, I notice, I catch myself being on my phone a lot, especially when the kids are running around and I should be with the children. You know, I am physically present, but my mind is elsewhere. And so when it comes to that, family time is so important. Let's keep that good habit of being able to have family time. There we go. I just muted a lot of my notifications. And the third good habit that I want to keep, and I would encourage all of us to keep so that we can prosper in the new norm, is prioritize your health. I have to admit, before lockdown, it was just, you know, wake up in the morning, whatever, you know, throw whatever sugary snack that's available quickly for a quick breakfast, chug down some sugar-laden kopi drink or whatever, and go about my day. But over the past 6 weeks, because we've been cooking at home, because we have children at home, we actually have time to have a proper breakfast. I realized that my digestive system is a lot better. And alhamdulillah, we're in Ramadan. And so with Ramadan, I'm able to be very mindful about what I consume. And that's the same with my physical activity. You know, I get to exercise a little bit more because I have a bit more time, less time commuting, more time to exercise. I make it a point to go out for walks with my children. As you know, young kids will need to burn off all the excess energy. And I have found that, you know, my daily walks with the kids have actually helped me, you know, de-stress. It's helped me loosen my muscles. And I'm pretty sure I've lost a little bit of weight. And so the third good habit that I would urge everyone to maintain in the new norm is prioritize your health. Because as they say, health is wealth. So far, everybody okay with me? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Okay, if you have any questions, just put it into our chat or raise your hand and I'll unmute you and you can ask me a question. So to recap, item number 1 on the 3 things that you must do to prosper in the new norm is keeping your good habits. Habit number 1, money mindfulness. Habit number 2, family time. And habit number 3, prioritize your health. Questions for me so far? No? Okay, I'll move on. Thing number 2, secret number 2 to prospering in the new norm is have an open mind. Things have changed. Lots and lots of things have changed. We know this for a fact. Things have changed. You can't, retail stores are closing. We are coming to realize that we don't need a lot of things. We are also coming to realize that change is inevitable. For example, working from home is likely here to stay. If you're living in Singapore, you would have noticed the new easing of the restrictions that we have. Like some services like hair salons, barbers are starting to open. And come June, people who have to work on location, on site, will be permitted to go. But those who do not have to work from home. You have to stay home and work. And this will likely be the status quo moving forward. Simply because I have a feeling that a lot of employers will start to realize, hey, it's actually a lot cheaper to maintain a smaller office. I don't need my employees all in one big office. I have to pay the rent for that. And my employees are a lot more productive. There's quite a few studies out there that shows that working from home is actually the most productive way of work. And so working from home is going to stay. And so have an open mind. How do we handle working from home? I have to admit, my wife and I, we were struggling the first couple of weeks simply because none of us could get any kind of work done because the kids were just romping around, requiring our attention all the time. But thank God, alhamdulillah, after about 2-3 weeks in, we figured that, hey, this is how we structure our time and we can actually work from home very effectively and even be productive at the same time. So working from home is here to stay. Keep an open mind. Another thing we want to keep in mind is looking for opportunities. Have an open mind when it comes to opportunities. Yes, we are in the beginnings of a recession. Yes, high unemployment is here. Yes, we've got a lot of issues to face, but the Chinese characters for opportunity is made up of crisis. And so if you were to look around you, there are problems to be solved. Keep an open mind, look for opportunities for you to prosper in the new norm. And the last but not least part about keeping an open mind is read. Read a lot more. I'm happy to report that in the past 6 weeks of being under lockdown, I've completed 3 books. I have finished 3 books. Don't bother with reading the books that I read. They're all boring finance stuff. But I would absolutely encourage everybody to read. We have more time. And keep an open mind. Pick up a book that you've never ever thought that you would pick up. For example, for once, I actually flipped through one of my wife's science textbooks. And I found out that cancer is actually a lot more complicated than the media makes it out to be. And so I learned a little bit more. And for most of us out here who want to, who are looking for opportunities, one of the best ways to spot an opportunity is to read more. For example, I was reading about the stock markets, I was reading about the banking system, and I'm realizing that there are opportunities out there which I was not aware of until I started reading more. And so that's the second secret that I want to give you to prosper during the new norm. Have an open mind, be able to work from home, look for opportunities, and read more. All okay with me so far? Give me a thumbs up. Fantastic. Any questions? Thank you very much. Now, the third secret I want to share with you so that you can prosper in this new norm is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful. I have shared this with friends, close friends, family, and quite a few of them have applied and they have actually prospered. And now coming with the new norm, it is something I find to be very valuable. That secret is picking up a new skill. Pick up a new skill. First thing, take a piece of paper. Write this down. What you're good at, or what am I good at? List down everything that you can think of. It doesn't matter if it's nonsense. It doesn't matter if you think it's minor. It doesn't matter if you think that it is useless. It is what you're good at. It can be something like, I'm very good at making my bed. I'm very good at ironing my shirts. I'm very good at cleaning the house. It can also be, I'm very good at listening to young children. It can be, I'm very good at cooking. I'm very good at sitting down watching TV. I'm very good at recommending shows based on people's personalities. It can be anything. So take a piece of paper, write everything down, what you're good at. At this point, don't judge, just spit it out and write and write and write and write. Let it all out. Write and write and write what you're good at. And the second thing you want to do on a separate piece of paper, write what you're interested in. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to be interested in it. For example, I'm very interested in finance. Very, very interested in finance. It's in fact number one on my list of things that I'm interested in, personal finance. I'm also very interested in families, how families work, how people work together, how husbands and wives communicate, how children behave, how children think. It's one of my very, very close topics to my heart, which I'm always reading about. Now, I've got to say, am I very good at, for example, am I very good at cooking? Yes, I'm very proud of my cooking skills. I've been cooking for over 20 years. But am I really interested in cooking? So you'll start to realize that there are things that you're interested in that you're not good at, and there are things that you're good at, but you're not interested in. All right? So don't judge, just let it all out. You don't have to be good at it to be interested in it. Write it down. I'm also very, very interested in computing. In fact, for some people might know, I have a degree in computer science, and I'm still very interested in computing, in coding, gadgets, how OSs work, how even, for example, Bitcoin, and so on. I'm not very good at it. I've got to say, I've left computing a long, long time ago. I'm not very good at it, but I'm very interested in it. And so, second column that you want to write, the second piece of paper is what you're interested in. Just brain dump, write it all out, write it all out. And now the third thing you want to do when picking up a new skill is compare the first column, what you're good at, compare the second column, what you're interested in, and see where things start to overlap. The third column you want to write, the third piece of paper, is what pays you. What can somebody pay you for? For example, my mother-in-law is retired. She picked up a new skill. She started to learn how to sew. And within a few months, she actually got her first order. Someone actually asked her to sew a dress for her. And she got paid. Was she good at it? No. She admitted she was not good at sewing at all. Was she interested in it? Yes, she was. She was interested in it. And she realized that, I'm not good at sewing, but I'm interested in sewing. And sewing is something that can pay me. And so she went for a short course and she started learning how to sew. And as I mentioned, a few months later, she got her first order. And now she's still sewing. She's retired. She's supplementing her income by being a seamstress. Isn't that amazing? If a lady who is in her 60s can pick up a new skill, what about people like us? If you're watching this right now, if you're listening to me, you know that you can pick up a skill. We all have something in our minds. It's just whether we know we have it or not. And so this short exercise, picking up a new skill, writing down what you're good at, writing down what you're interested in, and finding out what pays you. Remember, people always want what you have. For example, the families I service, the families who are my clients, they always tell me, Afiq, I wish I had known what you know way back then. And I said, hey, you can always pick up a new skill. For me, personal finance was a skill I picked up. And now you're paying me for my personal finance skills. Do I need to cook and sew? I could cook for someone, but, I don't want to. And so for now, the third secret that I want to share to everybody here is pick up a new skill. You know, unemployment could be here to stay. We know that lots of businesses have closed down post-COVID, and we know that some people have been laid off from work. And how do we earn an income? How do we earn a living? Pick up a new skill. Write down what you're good at, write down what you're interested in, and write down what can pay you. Any questions for me so far? Fantastic. Now, that comes to the three things that we should do, the three secrets to prospering in the new norm. The first one is keep your good habits. Keep your good habits. We've already built up some good habits over the past 6 weeks of lockdown. You know, being mindful of our money, spending more time with our family, and prioritize your health. The second secret to prospering is having an open mind. You know, working from home is here to stay. Do our best to be able to work from home. Structure our time, structure our activities so that we can work from home and be productive. Look for opportunities. Look for opportunities. There's always a problem to be solved. There is always a way to make money from whatever crisis that is happening. And of course, read more. Read more. I have a whole reading list of about 50 books that I have not touched. And I'm proud to say I have knocked out 3 of those so far. And the third secret to prospering in this new norm is picking up a new skill. Find out what you're interested in, find out what you're good at, and find out what pays you. Learn a skill, be marketable, and soon, God willing, inshallah, we will emerge from this crisis a lot stronger, a lot healthier, and a lot wealthier.